Major funding for KPBS Evening Edition has been made possible in part by Bill Howe Family of Companies, providing San Diego with plumbing, heating, air, restoration, and flood services for over 40 years. Call 1-800-BILL-HOWE or visit BillHowe.com. And by the Conrad Trebas Foundation, Darlene Marcos Shiley, and by the following. And by viewers like you. Thank you.
Santa Ana winds are bringing a break from the rain, but our sunny skies will be short-lived. Thanks for joining us. I'm John Carroll in for Maya Trabulsi. KPBS environment reporter Tammy Murga says San Diego will ring in the new year with another winter storm.
San Diego is kicking off New Year's week with warmer temperatures and gusty winds. The National Weather Service issued a wind advisory through Tuesday afternoon. The winds could blow down tree limbs and cause power outages.
We've got east to northeast winds blowing anywhere from about 30 to 50 miles per hour today in the county, and that's strongest along the foothills of the mountains. That's going to continue today into tomorrow.
Chandler Price is a meteorologist with the National Weather Service. He says Santa Ana winds are bringing warmer than usual weather for this time of year. Tuesday will be the warmest, with highs reaching mid to high 70s. As the midweek approaches, Price says
those temperatures are going to start to drop as the Santa Anas drop off and we get another system coming in.
That's right. Another winter storm is approaching. Last week marked one of the wettest Christmases in years. Palomar Mountain, for example, got 2.5 inches of rain. Price says
the big difference between this week and last week is that there's a lot less moisture associated with this one.
The forecast shows light to moderate rain from Wednesday through Saturday. Recent rains, including those from November, have given the new water year a strong start. Since October, San Diego has received nearly 4.5 inches of rain. The average is just over 2 inches. Tammy Murga, KPBS News.
Meanwhile, a powerful winter storm is sweeping across the central and eastern U.S. In a few minutes, we take a look at how it's impacting air travel during one of the busiest times of the year.
It will still be a breezy night tonight. Wind advisories continuing for many across inland parts of San Diego County. And our final Monday night of 2025 will take us down to 60 degrees in San Diego, 57 in Ramona, 53 in Borrego Springs. Here are those wind advisories. They do continue until 1 p.m. Tuesday. We'll begin to see the winds relax later tomorrow afternoon. But for now, interior parts of the region remain under a wind advisory. We'll be looking at the return of some rain for New Year's Eve and New Year's Day coming up.
With Christmas in the rear view, some may be wondering what to do with their Christmas tree. This morning, the city of San Diego kicked off its 52nd annual Christmas tree recycling program. Residents can drop off trees for free at any of the 16 locations you see there on your screen. Both green and flocked trees are accepted. All ornaments, stands, lights, and other decorations must be removed. The program runs through January 16th. Earlier this year, San Diego raised its cannabis business tax in an effort to fill a budget hole. KPBS Metro reporter Andrew Bowen says the move is not going as well as the city had hoped.
San Diego finance officials are projecting a shortfall in revenue from the city's cannabis business tax. The city says the industry still struggles with competition from the untaxed illicit market. Kimberly Sims is a San Diego-based attorney in the cannabis industry. She says she's not surprised the tax hike is backfiring.
As the cost of living continues to rise all around us, people have to make choices. And if there's readily available cannabis on the illicit market and you continue to make it more and more expensive on the regulated market, people are going to be driven back to the illicit market.
San Diego has doubled its cannabis business tax since it was approved by voters in 2016. This year, the city council raised it to 10% for both retailers and manufacturers of cannabis products. Meanwhile, Encinitas has a cannabis tax rate of 7% for retail outlets and 4% for manufacturers. La Mesa taxes retailers at 4% and manufacturers at 2.5%. Sims says cannabis taxes are not a panacea for local budget woes, and San Diego may be losing business to the suburbs.
Cities are realizing that, it's better to have some piece of the pie than no piece of the pie. And I think if we continue to see this trend of increasing taxes, then it just continues to bolster the illicit market.
San Diego has also allowed dispensaries to stay open later, but the city's independent budget analyst says some shops are not opting for extended hours, and that's contributing to the shortfall. Andrew Bowen, KPBS News.
Escondido is asking residents to cool it with illegal fireworks celebrations this New Year's. As KPBS North County reporter Alexander Nguyen tells us, the city is teaming up with the Escondido Fire Safe Council to spread the word.
Fireworks may look pretty, and professional shows are a colorful part of major celebrations, such as the New Year or 4th of July. But consumer fireworks are illegal in San Diego County, and for many dog owners, they are a nuisance.
Our dog is going crazy.
Doris Spees has lived in Escondido for 8 years and is a member of the nonprofit Escondido Fire Safe Council. She says the problem has gone out of hand in recent years.
July 4th is really July week, right? And so it goes on and on and on. And New Year's Eve is every hour until about 3 o'clock in the morning. So we don't even get sleep on those holidays. We don't look forward to those holidays anymore.
Spees is also part of the Facebook group Escondido Fights Illegal Fireworks. The group's informal survey of about 3,000 residents found that
about 75% said they were disturbed by fireworks.
Denise Rowland, CEO of the nonprofit Escondido Fire Safe Council, says it's not a problem for just dog owners. She's got testimonies from residents throughout the city.
There's Nicholas, a U.S. Army veteran who experiences PTSD, flashbacks, and panic attacks triggered by the fireworks.
That's why the council is working with the city to spread the word about Escondido's zero-tolerance policy on fireworks this new year.
They're highly dangerous and highly illegal.
The group has produced a map showing where the problem is concentrated in the city.
So if the city were able to take drones and fly it over these concentrated areas, they'd probably be able to catch these people and stop it.
In a statement, city spokesperson Mike Thorne says that more police officers will be deployed this New Year's Eve in an attempt to identify violators and enforce the municipal code. And he suggests residents call the police non-emergency number to report illegal fireworks. The fine for first-time offenders is $100 and goes up to $500 for serious offenders. Roland says that's hardly a deterrence.
And we're hoping that after the first of the year, they're going to put some new enforcements into place and that this won't be this ongoing thing.
Both Roland and Spee says this New Year's Eve, instead of celebrating, they will be home tending to and medicating their dogs because of the fireworks. Alexander Nguyen, KPBS News.
I'm Nick Schifrin. Tonight on the NewsHour, from ratcheting up bombing of Venezuela to a series of high-level meetings on Ukraine and Israel, President Trump stirs the global pot. Coming up at 7 after Evening Edition on KPBS.
This week, KPBS is looking back on the top stories of 2025. Much of it was driven by the unexpected. Breaking news that generated ongoing questions about public safety in San Diego. This Thursday, we're broadcasting an encore of our KPBS News special. It airs at 5 and 6:30 in place of Evening Edition. Reporters from KPBS News offer their insight and commentary on the biggest stories they covered this year. Here's a preview.
That was a big breaking story. Like the newsroom, all of us activated.
And we begin tonight with breaking news after a small jet crashed in a San Diego neighborhood. We have live team coverage of this tragedy tonight.
As an investigative reporter, it's on us to try to dig a little bit deeper to see, well, what can we figure out about what might have been behind the crash? We're not sure exactly what the cause was of the crash. The investigation from the FAA, it's going to take a long time to come out, but we want to try to dig and see what we can find in the days and weeks after an event like that to try to just get a fuller understanding.
New details are coming to light about what happened.
It felt like a movie. It felt like it was just like nothing I'd ever seen. It was a lot to take in when we all first got there. Even though this made national news, this felt like such a San Diego story because it affected our military community.
The community support in and of itself in a positive way is like, makes you want to break down in tears just because of how much everybody's come together and then just all the help. It's been tremendous.
Everyone in the newsroom brings some sort of expertise. Some folks have a lot of experience with breaking news. Some people cover transportation. Some people have connections with the city. In a story like that, all of that expertise is valuable. Together as a newsroom, responding to a big event like that, collectively, we were able to put out a lot of important information to help the community understand what was going on.
We've seen this devastation.
3 major fires are still burning in the Pacific Palisades, in Pasadena, and in Sylmar.
Homes destroyed, neighborhoods destroyed.
This year we knew with 0 rain that one big windstorm and we were toast, and last night it happened.
San Diegans understand what it's like to live through this, so I think that's part of the reason why when there's huge fires break out, especially to our north, to our neighbors, people just come out and help because they understand. The Pasadena Humane Society has seen hundreds of animals come in as a result of their families losing their homes to the fires. You know, lately because of climate change, we've been seeing fires break out year-round now, and CAL FIRES has said to me, you know, numerous times that it's no longer fire season, it's just fire year-round.
When a wildfire breaks out, information is gold.
If I've seen anything have the single greatest impact on engaging the public, this is the tool that's done it.
The adoption of this app, for San Diego County alone, there are over 500,000 subscribers. This kid who's in his early 20s, working from his apartment, most people probably wouldn't realize that, like, he is providing such essential information. Profiling him, seeing him do his work and kind of stay cool and collected under pressure, it was fascinating.
I hear time and time again that it's just wanting to prevent it from happening to someone else.
I'm speaking out today, not just for myself, but for everybody who has been failed by the system.
And it helps when someone files a lawsuit because that makes us able to report it out on the news. If the department doesn't sustain the complaint or act on it, it disappears from public view. So these lawsuits are really important to the public, knowing what's happening inside of our police department.
3.5 years of, please just tell me what happened.
To settle the legal claim, the county agreed to develop better training for jail staff and pay the Shuck family $16 million. Their lawyers say that's the most the county has ever paid to avoid taking a wrongful death claim to court.
When there's a big payout, I'm paying attention because the families who have survived these people who have died in San Diego jails, they believe that nothing's going to change until it costs more not to change than it costs to change.
San Diego's highest paid city employees are cops who work a tremendous amount of overtime, and that is according to a recent investigation from KPBS.
First came to us as a tip, actually. Someone who had been looking through city records and said, hey, this is pretty interesting, you guys should look into it. And with any tip like that, we always want to verify. So we dug into city records and we found that, yep, he was right. The highest paid city employee was a city police officer. Actually, the top several highest paid employees were police officers. From that tip, we were able to build out a pretty full story and look at what are the risks involved when officers work that much overtime. And financially speaking, how much money is the city spending on overtime?
Records show that the San Diego Police Department shared data from its automated license plate reader program with federal law enforcement agencies more than 60 times last year. After 9/11, the culture has always been share information. It's been share, coordinate, and now all of a sudden there's this cultural shift that has disrupted that trust. And now people are questioning whether or not we should share information with those agencies, whether or not those agencies can be trusted.
Our KPBS News special airs here on KPBS Thursday at 5, but you can already find it on our streaming platforms. The special is available on KPBS Plus and the KPBS YouTube page. A new year means new beginnings. For some, it may mean looking for a new job. Whether you're looking to switch careers or land a new role, the process can be overwhelming. Jen Sullivan sits down with one career expert to talk about ways to stand out to recruiters.
Bringing in a new year means self-reflection and setting new goals. For some, that may mean looking for a new job. And many career experts say January is a good time for job seekers.
In the new year, you often see hiring opportunities increase out in the marketplace.
Dawn Fay with recruiting firm Robert Half says a new year means a new annual budget for most companies, so they have more financial flexibility to add positions. But this is a tough climate for job seekers. The latest jobs report shows 105,000 jobs were lost in October and 64,000 jobs were added in November, while the unemployment rate rose to 4.6%. A 4-year high.
The jobs are there. It's more competitive to find the opportunities you're looking for.
Faye recommends broadening your job search. If you work in marketing, don't just apply to other marketing firms. Look for a marketing job in other industries.
Certainly things are picking up in the energy sector because there's all talk about power and how are we going to power all these data centers to keep the AI work running.
Faye says tailor your resume and cover letter to each job you apply for. She says AI can be a useful tool to help you save time. Use the job description to help you come up with a rough draft.
You might, again, just want to tweak it to highlight your skills and the results that you've had from the work that you've done that could be really particular to that role that you are applying to.
Don't just apply through the company's website. Try and track down the hiring manager and email them directly as well. If you're currently unemployed, consider contract or temporary work. Take a class to develop new skills or even volunteer. Faye says that helps you explain any resume gaps. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
Robert Half has offices all over the country. They recently launched a job search strategy guide for 2026 with tips on industries that are hiring and the ballpark salaries for various jobs. In the midst of one of the busiest travel stretches of the holiday season, a powerful, rapidly intensifying winter storm is sweeping across the central and eastern U.S. Lee Waldman has the latest on the storm's impact.
A vast, wide-ranging storm is bringing blizzard conditions, strong winds, an ice storm, severe thunderstorms, and extreme temperature drops to millions across the U.S. With more than 100 million people expecting to hit the road for the end-of-year trips, the storm is adding to an already challenging travel period.
We're trying to beat it.
I don't want to be driving through that.
Drive slower. Pay attention when there's a bridge coming, so slow down because those may get icy.
Trust it's all going to be good, and if it's not, you pull over.
Long stretches of Interstate 35 from Iowa to the Minnesota border have been closed or deemed unsafe. Dozens of crashes were reported in Iowa Sunday, including a 14-vehicle crash on I-35, according to Iowa State Patrol.
Think about what you would like to have with you if you were going to unexpectedly spend the night in the car.
As of late Monday morning, more than 330,000 customers are without power, most in Michigan, according to poweroutage.us. Meanwhile, in the middle of a busy air travel season, flights are being impacted by the weather. Thousands were delayed or canceled Sunday, including disruptions at Chicago's O'Hare International Airport, where thunderstorms prompted a temporary ground stop. The storm's cold front also sparked a line of severe thunderstorms Sunday, bringing damaging winds and a few tornadoes reported in parts of Illinois. Lee Waldman, KPBS News.
Well, we still have some wind out there, but we're dry at the time, for the time being. But in a little bit of time, we're going to have rain return. Showers will be rolling back in New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. So very similar to Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, we have a wet holiday ahead of us 1 week to the day after the most recent round of significant rain. We're staying windy, though, through Tuesday morning. Rain comes back beginning Wednesday into Thursday. Tonight, partly cloudy. We'll get down to 60 degrees for your overnight low. And with that offshore breeze, it is still windy but drier, and that will continue through Tuesday. Winds will begin to die off after around 1 p.m. or so. Wind advisory continuing for inland portions of both Orange and San Diego counties, not including the city of San Diego, but it certainly is with us for the inland areas. And we're a little bit warmer across the interior. Breezy but dry for Tuesday. Temperatures rising all the way up to 75 in San Diego, 72 Ramona. Mount Laguna 49 up in the mountains, but 67 into Borrego Springs. So El Cajon will likely be the warmest among the cities here on the map on Tuesday afternoon. And then things turn wetter. We have showers returning in the final hours of 2025. So New Year's Eve, here comes some showers across the coastal portions of California, including here in San Diego. Thursday, a soggy start to 2026. Hard to believe it'll be here. Steady rain for several hours into the new year on New Year's Day with very wet weather out there. We're looking at around an inch plus in San Diego. If you head farther southeast, you're going to get under an inch, half inch to an inch. But San Diego looking at 1 to 2 inches likely Wednesday and Thursday, just in time for New Year's Day. So here you can see this play out here. And Tuesday, the offshore wind begins to drop off, and we're going to see more clouds, more moisture. And Wednesday, we get wet. Widespread showers building in, soaking rain for a time Wednesday afternoon and evening, and more of that for Thursday as well. Another storm system rolls in then on Friday into Friday night, so localized flooding will be a concern, especially to our north, but it's going to be wet here at the end of the week. So let's take a look at what's going on with our specifics. The coastal forecast, you can see the first round rolls in Wednesday into Thursday, more showers Friday into Saturday, a persistently wet time. Temperatures certainly cooling down after that pleasant warm Tuesday. Enjoy Tuesday. That's the only real nice day this week moving forward, at least left over. Inland areas, partly sunny and warm Tuesday. Rain showers off and on Wednesday, Thursday, and into Friday, the 2nd of 2026, second day of January. The third, though, Saturday looks a little bit drier. Mountains, we have some chilliness and showers building in, especially in the mountains on New Year's Day. We'll have some low clouds lingering for Friday. And in the deserts, our wettest day will also be New Year's Day on Thursday. Temperatures staying in the 60s most days. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Jeff Cornish for KPBS News.
Planes landing on top of cars, pantsless cops, and shark threesomes? Jeremy Roth takes a look back at the weirdest, wildest, and wackiest whatnot that made headlines in 2025.
Prepare ye, for the end is nigh. You know, the end of the year. Sorry if that sounded ominous. Was it the ye? It was the ye, wasn't it? Well, maybe we should be prepared because 2025 was so unforgettable, so unimaginable, so unbelievable, I don't know how 2026 is going to possibly top it. You don't believe me? Oh, how soon ye forget. Let's take a look at 2025. Where better to start than with some wild whatnot on the water? A surreal but all too real moment unfolded in icy Chilean waters when a father witnessed his kayaking son swallowed up, then spat back out by a huge humpback whale. The incredible moment ended with the 24-year-old resurfacing no worse for wear and later saying it was his life vest that pulled him back from the depths. A most unlikely traveling duo in New Zealand made headlines when researchers released video of an octopus hitching a ride on the back of a shark. Marine scientists said the ultra-rare ride share was one of the strangest things they'd ever seen and nicknamed it the Sharktopus. And then there was the shark threesome. That's what Australian researchers called a never-before-seen mating encounter with a trio of leopard sharks. A published study said only courtship interactions had previously been observed, never group activities. It also noted that when it was all over, the female left and the two males lay motionless on the seafloor, appearing exhausted. There were plenty of close calls, like a speeding vehicle that just barely missed a man when it lost control and flipped on its side at a Nebraska gas station. The only thing that would have made this insane Dodge more insane was if the car had been a Dodge. But alas, it was a Nissan. So close. Another crazy touchdown happened in Florida when a small plane making an emergency landing crashed down on top of a car traveling along I-95. Amazingly, among the aircraft's 2 occupants and the car's lone driver, only minor injuries were reported. And in New York, an inexperienced teen driver learned a lesson in gravity the hard way when they accelerated too hard and nearly plunged their SUV into the Long Island Sound, but instead stuck a very lucky landing on a lower pier. As always, there was kooky criminal mischief and wacky whoopsie-daisies, like this artsy-fartsy faux pas at an Italian museum, where a pair of tourists posing in front of a crystal-encrusted chair accidentally crushed the delicate work and then fled the scene. Thankfully, restorers were able to fix the piece, returning it to its glittering former glory. A Grubhub driver arrested in Arizona for speeding and reckless driving landed in the hot seat, but his hot food order still made it to its destination. thanks to a pair of police officers who took it upon themselves to deliver the pizza and the news to the hungry customer. As always, there were loads of wild animal stories, like surveillance cameras capturing a cool-as-a-cucumber California camper keeping his composure as a wild mountain lion strolled by mere inches away, a wild bear caught on camera breaking into a California zoo to mingle through a fence with its captive bear brethren, and a goofy goat's big derpy mug catapulting a Wisconsin zoo to internet infamy, racking up millions of views to become the go-to meme for what you hope you don't look like when the flash goes off. Oh, and there was also one lightning bolt leaving drivers shocked in Canada, another setting off not one but two explosions in South Carolina, a ballerina striking a cool-as-ice viral pose under an Arctic cruise ship, a suspect sought for stealing a sculpture stuffed in his shorts, a golden toilet auctioned for millions, and a cop caught with his pants down.
You got some pants on, officer?
Literally on a virtual courtroom call.
No, sir.
Whoops. But my personal favorite this year was the trifecta of substance-abusing raccoon stories. Yes, you heard that right. In Kentucky, one raccoon that got drunk on a distillery's garbage and nearly drowned had to be revived with CPR. Another was found by Ohio police in a vehicle holding a meth pipe. And yet another broke into a Virginia liquor store, got sauced, and passed out next to the toilet. But hey, no time like the new year for these dumpster-diving degenerates to examine their questionable life choices and make a fresh start. For Take a Look at 2025, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Earlier in the newscast, we said a Christmas tree recycling program by the city of San Diego started today. Program actually began Friday, but a media conference was held this morning. We apologize for the error. You can find tonight's stories on our website, kpbs.org. Thanks so much for joining us, everybody. I'm John Carroll. Have a great evening.
Major funding for KPBS Evening Edition has been made possible in part by Bill Howe Family of Companies, providing San Diego with plumbing, heating, air, restoration, and flood services for over 40 years. Call 1-800-BILL-HOWE or visit BillHowe.com. And by the Conrad Prebys Foundation, Darlene Marcos Shiley, and by the following. By viewers like you. Thank you.